What's up guys, Hippopotamus here, and today I'd like to show you my opinions and guide video to my ranked solo queue 5v5 experience. As you can see right now, I'm 1603, which is pretty good. This is the farthest, or the highest I've gotten this season is 1616, and I wanted to make this video kind of as a way to help you get through what people call solo queue as ELO hell, generally speaking, because most of the time you either get a feeder, a bad player, or just you're a bad player. Most of the time people don't say they're bad, but some people admit they aren't that great, and their ELO reflects that. But most of the time I understand most people are pretty competent players, and they just have bad luck, is what people like to call it. Because it pretty much is luck. It's rolling a dice. No matter what, you're gonna get one of those games where you have a lever, or you just can't 4v5 the enemy team, or something along those lines. Emergency comes up, whatever. And I decided to do a little test with a friend, and what I found out is when you're playing with a lot lower of an ELO player than yourself, you get a lot wider of a range of ELOs, as you may know. Right now I'm 1600, and I play at around a 1600 to 1700 level, give or take. I play with people that go up to 1700, and then I play people that are like 1580. So around that area. But what I found out is, while solo queuing with a partner of mine who's about the same skill level as me in playing the game, he's just not as high ELO, I've noticed you don't get anyone higher than yourself during the game as ELO, sorry. But you don't get anyone higher than you, which means everyone is going to be more towards your allies or your friends or your clanmates or whatever ELO. So the idea that I was testing out basically was that if I'm playing with a friend or a clanmate that is, let's just say, 1000 ELO or 1100 ELO, there's going to be a wide range of ELOs that matchmaking will choose from. Anywhere from them to around 20 to 30 ELO lower than that, so I could see 980 or 970 being the lowest, all the way up to 1570, 1580, almost reaching 1600. And what I've noticed is if you take it, divides it so that you get one person or one or two people from each set of ELOs. Meaning you might get a person from 1000, you might get a person from 1150, 1250, 1350, and then the highest you might get is 1450 to 1500 or mid 1500s at max. And I've noticed that really improves our game, because the idea is that if you're playing with people that are at that level, but you have an ally or a clanmate queuing with you at your same skill level, just not at the ELO level that he's supposed to be at, it really helps out your chances in winning. And that's mainly the reason why I'm at 1600 right now. I've been playing with a friend of mine, and he was around, I don't think he was ranked, I think he was around 1100, 1200. And I was around 1350 at the time. This was about a week ago. So I got like 1600, and I got quite a bit of points last week and this week. So I was around 1350, 1400 last week. And this week I'm around 1600, give or take, if I lose a couple tonight. But nonetheless, what I did was I said, hey, why don't we queue up and see what matchmaking will put us with? And he's like, alright, let's give it a shot. And basically what I figured out was that it doesn't pair you with anyone higher than you. It pairs you with an equal average of ELO, to an extent. What I mean by this is that it tries to make the game as fair as possible for the lowest ELO player in your party or in the game, or out of the 5 people on your team, for both sides. And what this does is, generally speaking, you'll get people on the lower end of the ELO bracket rather than the higher ELO end of the bracket. Like if I'm playing with him and he's 1,000, it'll put one or two people that are probably 11, 1,200, and then maybe one guy that's like 1,500 or 1,400. And the idea behind this is when you're champion selecting and when you're in the game playing, the idea is to take advantage, or not take advantage of, but use the lower ELO players on their team as kind of like feed, where you focus ganks and attacks against the lower ELO players to get you fed and to snowball into the later mid-late stages of the game to deal with the higher ELO players. And I've noticed this to work really, really well when pairing with someone in solo queue. And most of the time I end up getting farm up top. As you can see, I played most of my games as Garen. I was winning, I think I won 6 in a row, and then or 7 in a row, and then I lost the last 2 that I played. But that was solo, by myself, not with a partner. And I'd probably say the biggest rule of ranked is don't queue by yourself ever. Whenever you get the chance, queue up with someone. Queue up with a friend, clanmate, just some guy you know that invited you as a friend. Invite him, because people are more likely to listen to you if they're with you, obviously. If he's a friend, he's obviously going to listen to you, or he'll give you advice or whatnot. And the idea behind this is that you will have more control over the game, and that's one less player that you will not have to deal with as a chance of a lever or a feeder. And this drastically increases your chances of winning, because I've noticed that 1 out of 4 of your other teammates could be levers. When you're playing with one person, it's 1 out of 3. That's like a 20% chance that if you queue by yourself, there's a 20% chance that that person might leave the game out of the group of people that you get, the pool of people that are thrown into your match with you. And just in general, when you have good coordination and good teamwork with 2 people, your team will generally follow the direction you're going with. Like, one person, I yell at some guy for not picking a certain hero for some reason. Like, I don't think he's a viable champion in ranked. Guy picks him anyways. But if I suggest, let's just say, here, scratch that idea. Let's just say that someone wants AP mid, but my friend or I play AP mid. And we ask nicely, hey, can we have AP mid or something? We're a really good combo, or he's a good combo. I switch with him, so can we get AP mid? And most of the time people are pretty friendly about it, or they'll just flat out say, no, I don't want. And then you just go with what they want, basically. You pretty much have to agree with people. Arguing with people is the worst thing you can do in ranked. You always want to be content with what people pick. It's nice to give suggestions, but don't say, oh, that's a bad pick. That's why the hell would you pick Nasus when we already have Olaf top? Or why would you pick GP when we have Warwick in the jungle and top's already taken by Aurelia? But the idea is to just be comfortable with what you pick, and people will listen to 2 smart people. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. People will listen to 2 people. If you're doing well in the game and you're showing good sportsmanship, you're not yelling at your teammates saying, oh, you're the best, or what are you guys doing? Why is your CS 21 when the other enemies is 62? Just be encouraging and don't ever yell at your teammates. That's probably the hardest thing for me, to not yell at my teammates if they're 1-8, as like Morgana or something like that, or just really tanky. Anyone, doesn't matter. But regardless, that's probably the second #1 rule. Besides not queuing by yourself, the second rule is always be considerate and courteous to your teammates, no matter how much of a dick, douchebag, or whatever you want to use as a term. You always just want to play a fair game and play nicely with others, which is easier said than done for most people. I'm not saying anyone isn't or is. I can be quite nasty in a game if I am just completely agitated with my teammates, they're feeding, or if I'm doing bad, I'll get agitated at myself, and that'll just decrease my gameplay, and then I won't do well. But nonetheless, that's what I was getting at in this video, was just like a general... No, Crucial, I'm not going to play ranked with you right now. Just a general video, and what I plan to be going over in my next part is just champion picks and champion bans, and counters to those champions. And if you guys want, just post a comment or just like any sort of response to the video saying what you want to know about ranked, and I might do a video on it, because I think ranked is like where people kind of... It's a big step from saying, oh, I've been playing normals and I want to get ranked. I want to be competitive ranked. I want to be like in a clan, or I want to get a higher ELO. Like I want to be 1850 by the end of... I want to get platinum, or whatever you want to do in ranked. Whatever your goal may be. And just send me the comment. I will respond. I pretty much respond to all my comments no matter what. So leave a comment. I'm probably going to be releasing another video right after this one about champion picks and champion bans, because a lot of people don't know who to ban, or don't like they just ban whoever they feel is overpowered at that time, or they don't feel, or they were dominated by that player is what I should say. Like, let's just say I had an Alistair for some reason. Fed Alistair, beat my whole team, automatically means you need to ban him in every game you get the ban in. No, you don't want to ban Alistair. But because people have that disposition towards that, oh, Alistair's OP because he has a charge and a knock-up and it just one-shots you no matter who you are. No. I will give you a more in-depth guide on which heroes should be banned and for why, and what are good heroes to ban, and what are heroes you should just avoid picking in general while playing ranked when you get up to the higher level ELOs. Right now, I'm at a decent level ELO. I'm not an expert, guys. I'm not a pro. I'm just a regular guy that plays by myself. I play with some clanmates. It's not a big deal. We're not like anything big. We're just a normal clan that we're starting up for Season 2, because as you all know right now, it's pre-Season 2, so Season 2 hasn't even necessarily started. But nonetheless, I was just prepping myself, because once you get up out of the ELO, like, hellish areas, as people like to call it. I consider hell around, like, probably anywhere from 1k to 1500, because once I got around the 1500 level, I noticed a lot less of the leavers and the rage quitters. There are the trolls every now and then, but it starts to slowly diminish as you get higher up. But you always get those games where something comes up, your teammate leaves, throws the game for you, and you just have to take the loss. There's no way you're going to come back. You just lost. And if you just try to always queue with a partner, be considerate to your teammates no matter what they say, what they do to you, or ever how bad you're doing or how bad they're doing. Just say you're sorry. Just try to get along with everyone. That's probably the biggest issue.